been training with the Liverpool Empire for last week. It was only a 2-day thing, a 2-day workshop, and it was with Warhorse and the Liverpool Empire front of house team. Some of their marketing team were there, and loads of people like that. The first day was basically just like getting to know each other. It was a bit like, I don't know, I feel like they could do better the first day, but it was really, really good in terms of meeting the people who'd be looking after us in a way, and just meeting with people who are like-minded. You know, we were all there because we wanted to work behind the scenes, or because we had an interest in behind the scenes. And I'd never been to an experience like that, and I loved it. It was really, really cool. So on the first day, we had a bit of a Q&A thing. So the people there were like the marketing team, the director of the house, so Liverpool Empire, and the National Theatre. I think she was like a production manager. I'm not so sure who she was, but she was really, really nice, and I really enjoyed it. And like other people were there as well. It was really, really cool getting to see that in a theatre, it's not just, you know, the actor, and it's not even just like the actor and the director and the producer and like playwright and stuff. It's all these different people who are like getting work together and like working together to create something so, so awesome. The second day was really, really, really awesome. I loved it. It was so cool, and it gave me the confidence that I needed to start like working on my projects again. That I just needed a bit of a push, and they gave me that push, and I'm so happy that they did. We worked with lighting, puppetry, wardrobe, and stage management. So the first one I want to go and see was the lighting department. So the lighting department was just sent at like the side of the stage, but we also did the workshop on stage. We got to play around with like the actual lights from Warhorse. So they use like the older like technical equipment, because the lighting designer designed it on that, and they think that they don't need to change that equipment because the show's already perfect, and it is. We also got to mess about with the smoke machines, and I was really, really surprised about the smoke machines, because one, like, I kind of know what I'm talking about. I knew what gels were. I understand most things about the theatre, and I'm not trying to brag. I've been training for a very long while, and I've made myself understand this because this is what I want to do, like anyone would. But for me, every single time that I've been in a room, been somewhere with a smoke machine, it's made out of dry ice. And with this one, it wasn't. It was really, really cool, because I was like, wait, why? How is that going to smoke? Why is that, is that going to even make sense and stuff? Why would that work? But it was really, really cool. And apparently, I think they said it was safer, and it was apparently like cheaper as well. So that was awesome. But also, it wasn't like just like a smoke machine they have on the floor, like a massive one. It was like it wasn't small. It was still heavy, but you could carry it around, and you can just press a button, and it wasn't plugged in anywhere. And the way they use this in Warhorse is, if the horse is galloping on stage, they have like these flats. So the flats, I don't really know how to explain it, but to make the horse feel like it's coming out of nowhere, they raise the flats, and the horse is already on stage, so they raise it to the audience, and then they just kind of like, what's this? They just kind of spray the smoke machine on them and spray it all around, so it looks like, mystical. And because of the lighting department, we also got to go on the actual stage of Warhorse. Now, I say the actual stage of Warhorse and not Liverpool Empire, because even though we were on the stage of Liverpool Empire, they have a different floor in Warhorse. And that's really, really cool. Well, I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but I'm just flabbergasted. I didn't know shows did that. That's so cool. And basically, like, the floor was like grated. If you rake like mud, or if you rake ground, soil and stuff, that's how it felt, really. I didn't feel it, but on your feet, that's how it felt. And I just thought that was really, really cool, because I think it showed that, first of all, it's set in Devon and it's set in a farm, so their ground wouldn't be dead soft like a stage is. And also, I just think it's really, really cool how, in wartime as well, it won't be dead smooth and stuff. And I just think for me, if I was an actor on Warhorse, that would help me get into character and get into the setting of the play, because I'm walking on different ground that I'm not really, me as a person isn't walking on. Like, say if I was playing Albert will be walking on that ground and I won't be. Also, the stage was full of like tape marks and stuff. So on a normal stage, you use tape marks to find out, you have to put a table this position. So they have like a tape mark in like a rectangle shape. So with that, it tells you where to put the table and what angle a table would need to be at. But with the Warhorse stage, it was covered in them. And I walked on it knowing that, that was what tape was for. And I was like, why is there so much? How would you know where to go? How would you know what to do? But I went to the stage management workshop, and they told me that because it was such a bare stage, and because it's important to know where everyone's standing due to like horses and due to big not sets, but like, they have a gun in the show and stuff, like a massive big gun and a tank, not an actual tank, but it's still really, really important to like put them in the right place. So because there's nothing on the stage, it's an absolute bare stage, and they need to know where to stand anyway, and they can't be like, you stand by the window, because there's no window. Also in the stage management workshop, we also got to see like how to tape out down a stage. And do you know when you have those patterns on the stage, and it's like just a piece of paper, like an A4 piece of paper, and it says 1 to 20, 1 metre to 20 metres. I'm not very, very good at maths, so when I saw that, first of all, I was like, I don't know how to do that. I'm really, really confused, and I don't really know what's going on. But they really put it out in a way that was super simple, and whenever I look at something now, then I'll be able to do it. We also got to see the DSM book. I think it was a DSM book. DSM means Deputy Stage Manager. And the way they showed us this was that they put a video on, and it was a video, like a pro shot of Warhorse, and it was really, really cool, because when she called out the show, like she did it in actual time, she called it out, and it just happened on the screen. Not because it happened on the screen in the way of, she was controlling that screen. It was already pre-recorded. But you could tell it, you could understand what she had to say and what thing was happening. And I just thought that was super cool. We also got to do wardrobe workshop. And it was really, really cool. We got to go into the wardrobe, place, and it was on the top floor. Probably wasn't the top floor, but it felt like the top floor. Many, many stairs. It was just a massive big room, and it was full of sewing machines and washing machines, and it was a lot. There was so many different costumes there in different boxes, and it was loads. And he also told us a story about this guy who wanted something on his costume. So he was I think he was an English soldier in Warhorse. And his granddad was in the war as well, in World War One. I was great-granddad or something. And he had this medal, or award. And he had this medal, and with that, the guy asked very, very politely for the costume designer to sew it onto his costume and to make sure that was represented in his character. And he was able to put it on, they were able to put it on, because it was the right regiment and the right the right look for it, and it was it was correct in period and stuff. And I just thought that was really, really cool how actors can take their inspirations from real life, and it shows in their character as well, because it was literally on his costume. I don't know if it was here, I think it was just on his arm or something. Also, they told us a really interesting fact about the teams of the Joey and Top Form, so the horses in the show. Obviously they're run by puppeteers, and they have a team of 3 running each horse during each show. One of those teams for Joey and one of those teams for Top Form just do Joey and Top Form. But then with the other 2 teams, they run both horses. So they take it in turns on different nights to decide, right, I'm going to run this horse. They don't decide. It's the stage manager and the people in charge of the show who decide. But it's like kids. Do you have a child in the show? They have to have different performances. So you've got 2 children and they have to share it because licensing rights and stuff. But obviously I don't think it's about that, but I just thought it was really, really cool. But the most important thing about that, I assumed that when a horse team wasn't on, that they would just go home. Not go home and like bye, you're done, but more like, they don't need to be needed. But actually that's not true. They run ensemble tracks, so they are soldiers, they're working women, women on the farm and stuff, German soldiers and all these different people, and I just thought that was really, really cool. Why did I think that was cool? There's something cool in that. We also got to do a bit of hands-on work. So with this in the wardrobe, it was to do with quick changes. And in World War One, the British Army wore these things around their legs to make sure they don't have things in their legs. They don't get colds and they don't get illnesses and disease in their body. So with that, we had to wrap each other's leg up. And it was dead tight and it was really, really frustrating. But you just had to think, the wardrobe department actually have to do this, and that is a lot of work. Wow. We also got to do a puppetry workshop, and if anyone knows me, they would know that I love puppets. Puppets are my favourite thing, because I just love how they breathe and how people bring them to life, and I also love the design on them. And Joey is my favourite puppet in the world, from what I know anyway, because I just think Handspring Puppetry, who designed the puppets and made them for Warhorse and National Theatre, it was amazing because they're so beautiful and they're so, I just can't explain it. They come to life, and it's really, obviously it's a horse. It's not a horse. It is a horse. It's a puppet. That's the thing. It's a puppet, and you're thinking, that's just a bunch of cane and wood and all this different stuff, but actually it's a living thing because people are actually putting life into it. And I'm not very good at explaining this because I haven't really got much things about puppets. I don't really understand them that much. I really, really want to. I love them. I've got a passion for them, but I just need to know a little bit more before I become, a puppeteer. But they're so beautiful, and it makes me cry whenever I even see them. So in the puppet workshop, we talked about mechanics. So with mechanics, basically wait a second. I made this in the puppet workshop. I called him Boris, so that's his face. And do you know how I'm pulling him there? So I'm just pulling him by a piece of string, and because of this, which is plasticine, his nose, which is really, really weird now, but because of his nose, he's got a weight. So with this is a mechanic. you do like a pull method, I think. I don't know what it's called. I call it pull and push, but it's not. You're not pushing it. But so I'm pulling it, and his head goes back down. And if I take his nose off, so he's got no nose. He's got a little nose, but see, doesn't really work that well. I need, you know what I mean? So once you have this on him, so once you have this on him, he works better. I'm still trying to find out the weight for him because I don't, I pull him back too much and he just looks a bit manic. Like that. But when you nod, you do that, don't you? So I just love him. And I just think that's so, so cool.